Can you feel the epic fail of capitalism, of America, of American empire, of our own country, Australia?
I'm here as a citizen, an engaged citizen who has been activated.
What's the deal with Telstra signing a deal with the FBI of all organisations
I'm not going to comment
on Earth?
Because I'm not in a position to be able to comment on it.
There is no such thing as privacy. That's over, that's gone. As in Orwell's 1984, there is no way to be aware of when you're being watched and when you aren't. For me, it's taken a weight off my shoulders. Freedom. My freedom was giving me the shits. I can give up now.
So I just walked into the Telstra store and to talk to them about the contract they've made with the FBI in the USA. But my tack today that we were going to assume that there were people in the Telstra corporate structure who were genuinely concerned about the community's rights.
Telstra, stop bugging us!
What's happening in America through the NDAA, where people who can be loosely associated with terrorist organisations can be apprehended and held without charge or trial. In the last year, WikiLeaks has been defined as an enemy of the state in the United States, and there's been a great push for them actually to be described as a terrorist organisation, to bring greater transparency and accountability to the power structures. These structures focused on criminalising dissent, and that had very real and personal implications for the people in the Australian community who'd been activated.
Oh, there we go. Sweet.
Where are you folks?
We just want to ask some questions about the FBI hoovering up Australian information through Telstra.
This is not a public area. This is a private area.
We want to speak to someone from Telstra about the FBI. Have you got the bit of paper that shows the FBI-related agreement?
Can I just explain to you what we want to talk about so that you can
to
direct
talk to
us?
you outside, please. Again, you have no authority you have no permission or authority to be right here. No permission or authority to be right here. More than happy to talk to you in a public area. So please come with me.
The corporate office on level 26 then? Is that possible?
Sir, is there any particular reason why you feel you have a need to stay here? I'm telling you, you have no permission to be here.
I'm just feeling the energy.
Well, that's okay. So you're saying you refuse to leave this area?
Not in English.
All right, well, I'm asking you to
It's called security. Great, that's who we want to talk to.
Because we think it's a security issue if the FBI are being handed Australian information.
I have the agreement right here. I'm just not sure who I should be speaking to. Does someone want to tell me? Does anyone know?
happy to talk to you outside.
Does anyone know the barrister who signed off on the FBI agreement in 2001?
Could you not leave, please?
Does anyone know?
Could you leave, please?
Private environment. That's interesting coming from Telstra. That's hoovering up thousands, millions of people's data.
This is exactly what concerns us, though. Our information.
Come into our homes and invade our phones.
I've never been in your home.
Oh, you know your company.
Could you please leave?
You know your
I'm
company.
more than happy to talk to you.
Well,
Thank you.
People have no permission.
It's signed by
Well, what would you say about the FBI?
Can we speak to a person? So you don't know who signed off on the FBI agreement in 2001? How come you have your privacy but millions of Australians don't?
Can you guys say hello to the FBI for us, please? That'd be awesome.
Can we speak to someone that is in the corporate?
They're called security.
We're not after customer service.
Well, that's kind of who you have to start with. They're not going to give out any details.
No, this is a bit
whatsoever.
serious.
We couldn't hear anything that was just going on then, so can you just explain? Kaz has spoken to one person who's in the complaints department, and he's gone off to find out who we can talk to in real dialogue about what's going on. Otherwise, you know, we're going to mount a campaign of boycott and divestment and make their lives miserable in the media. And they need to start making some public statements about why they're participating in this.
Talked him through the contract that was made in 2001. He had no argument that he himself had become aware of the dragnet only through the Edward Snowden revelations. He understands that there's quite rightly significant community concern. We are then a collection of engaged citizens who support that particular organisation, among many others.
Yep.
Whose interest it is to bring greater transparency and accountability to the community about centralised power, and that essentially there was this toxic feeling taking place now between the community and Telstra, because we feel that they have completely acquiesced and are secretly supporting these efforts for America to help criminalise dissent. So he wanted to know exactly what we want out of today. So obviously he understood we want them to stop the spying. That was obvious. What we want today. So I said we want to meet a fair income person, like a person who operates in Telstra, who actually has real efficacy with this stuff, who actually works with this contract, who's across all of these issues, and we want to have an open and extensive dialogue with them. What we would hope to come out of that is that there is a series of conversations on media, in public forums, where Telstra answer to concerned communities. We would also want to see that they're far more transparent in their corporate spaces about what they do with our information. For instance, a banner at the top of their website saying, "This is a warning, please understand." So I was just giving him some for instances about where this could go.
I've been expending not insignificant energy trying to turn these cameras into an eye that will blow your mind. It'll blow your third eye. It'll blow your third eye? What does that mean? No one knows. But when I rearrange those cameras into an eye, the shape of an eye, people will walk past, they'll see the eye, and they'll get it, man. Oh, it'll be incredible. Right, that's when, that'll be the signal, you know what I mean? The signal? Yeah, that's right. That's when it begins. That's when it gets realistic from that moment on. That's what all it requires is that you find in a recycling dump somewhere about 90 of these little cameras. That's what I did. Good skills, excellent work on my part. And then stick them on the window of a retailer for the dominant telecommunications provider in Australia, in the shape of an eye, and the revolution begins. That's all you got to do. It's always been that simple. I don't see why people get so confused.